Annyeong, Junin Jaspa and today's video I'm going to be talking about studygrams. And as you can see, this is my studygram. It's Yuri Uni, and it says Y Uni, and I'm part of the 99 line, obviously. Oh. And it says I'm studying Korean and Japanese. Currently, I'm mainly just focusing on Korean. As much as I would like to branch out and learn Chinese and Japanese, I kind of can't. I need to focus on one thing. And it says I study 24/7. I don't study 24/7. I have to study for my ACTs. And I do self-study. Now this down here, I think it says, I forget what it says. I think it says study hard. No, it says something about studying. I remember this because I was looking up stuff on Korean 101, and I found it, and I was just like, I have to put this down in my Instagram bio to seem like I know at least a little bit of something. But no, I mainly talk about my YouTube channel that I'm trying to get out, and I was talking about that I wanted to go to college for communications, and then I will get my TOEFL so I can teach language, well, English abroad. And a lot of people are like, wow, you're going to be, like, taking the TOEFL and everything. And my Rinderella, she's a queen. She has a beautiful daughter, by the way. She was telling me about, like, TOEFLs for sale and things like that, like coupons for it off of Groupons.com. She's a very wonderful woman. You should follow her on Instagram. She's a queen. And I have a studygram. This is what it is. And I have so many things saying learning a foreign language has benefits beyond just learning the language. And there are many benefits to learning a foreign language. Many that you don't see. Relationships, friendships that will last forever, and being able to travel or live in another country and not worry about that language barrier. Because a lot of people in Korea, they try to speak to you in English, and the English might not be super good, and your Korean might suck. That's part of life. But if you have been studying Korean for a while, and you go there, and you're like, well, I know how to say this and this and this, and you start speaking to them in Korean, and they're like, oh, your Korean is so good. It's so fantastic. My writing is crap in Korean. I will not lie. My Hangul sucks. But I have a whole bunch of things there that inspire me that I'll open my Instagram and I'll look at my page and I'm like, this is why I'm learning. Because to me, there's so many other opportunities, and learning another language is just beautiful to me. It's just breathtaking to learn another language and be able to say, I know how to speak another language besides my own. Granted, I'll probably not use it until I move there, but I want to try and use it every day so I can maintain that type of information. That's why I have Calco Talk, so I can be able to call Korean people and be like, hello, what's going on? And just chill with them and basically maintain the information I know in my head of how to speak to them, while also getting a grasp of how conversations go. And it says here, learning another language is not only learning different words for the same things, but learning another way to say things about, to think things about. Oh my goodness. Learning another language is not only learning different words from the same thing, but learning another way to think about things. So it's, like I said, it's a different way to perceive certain ways you say certain things. Like you could say milk in English, and in Spanish, I'm guessing it's leche. My sister took Spanish. I never took Spanish. And you're like, leche sounds like some blah 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 blah, sounds like this and this in English. And then you're like, oh, it means milk in Spanish. Cool. And there's just so many benefits that people really don't think about when you learn another language. You're just like, I learned another language to pick up a dude or a chick or whatever. Don't do it for those reasons. Do it because you want to learn that language and you plan on doing things with that language. Making friendships, not trying to get a girl or a boyfriend. That's not what the language is about. Granted, if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend who speak that language and they know how to speak English, then yes, you can learn that language for them, so you show that you respect their language and want to be able to communicate in that language too, especially with their family, who 9 times out of 10 don't know how to speak English or whatever language you speak. And a new language is a new life. Now, the way I see this Persian proverb is, a new language is a new life. So saying, I know English, I've always known English my whole life, but say that I learn Korean and I go over to Korea. It's a whole nother life for me. It's a whole nother adventure, something different. It's a different me. It's not the me in America. The me in America is this me. This is how I would be acting. But in Korea, I'd probably be acting completely different. A different persona, a different personality, a different version of me. Because when you learn another language, you get another life. You act differently, possibly. Depends on who you are. You might stay the same, but have a different way of acting. Slightly different. You never know. And this one right here, this quote, is my life. Sometimes the language you don't speak is the one that speaks to you. Now for me, the one language I don't speak is Korean, and it speaks to me because I find it to be the most beautiful language I've ever heard. There's other languages that other people are like, excuse me, you're saying this language is better than, like, French accents? Or British accents? Or Japanese accents? You chose Korean. Everybody has a different perspective. But for me, this one out of all of them has called my name. It's saying, you need to learn me, you need to come here, this is your home. I was born in America, but this is my home. Home is where the heart is. My heart is always going to be with my family, and I'm always going to love them. They'll be my home, but this is my home in another country. And it's one of the most beautiful things. I've always carried this picture around with me, but since I mainly spend a lot of time in my room where I study, I wanted it right next to where I study. So whenever I'm feeling down or wanting to quit because things get too hard and I always want to give up, I'll look at this picture and I'll be like, this is where I'm meant to be. That's the place I'm meant to go. My heart is saying you need to be here. My brain's saying you need to be here, and this is telling me to go. So there's many upon many different quotes for learning languages, many that repeat, but if you really look in depth into the meanings and how you will perceive things, most people will be like, oh, come on, really? Learning a language isn't all that. You just learn a language and you seem like you're cool. No. I have 12 quotes in my phone. And it says, learning is either a continuing thing or it is nothing. If you don't continue to learn and progress in life and keep learning and growing your brain, you're not going to be learning at all. You're going to start losing things that you know. You're going to be like, I used to know how to do this type of fraction, but now I don't know how to do it because I've never continued doing it and I never continued to learn and expand my brain. So my brain was just giving up things and making room for stuff that wasn't important. And if we spoke a different language, we would perceive a somewhat different world. If we all spoke a different language, we all would perceive the world in a different way. Would understand other people's pain, other people's perspectives on life, how they see different things and how their culture is versus ours. We wouldn't be so judgmental. Because we look at something and we'll be like, why do they do this? This is wrong. But in their country, this is right. And when they look at our country, it's wrong to them. They're like, why don't they do this? They're in the wrong. Each country is different. That's why it's beautiful. Each language is different. That's also why it's beautiful. One language sets you in a corridor for life. 2 languages open every door along the way. So what this means, if you have one language, your corridor is just straight. There's no doors. You're just going one way. There's no other door that's going to open except the ones where you live. If you have 2 languages that you know, there's plenty more doors opening. You're not just going in one direction. You're going in different directions depending on where you want to go. And if you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you're determined to learn, no one can stop you. And it basically means what it says. If you're willing to learn, if you're willing to learn, no one's going to stop you. The only person that's going to stop you is yourself. But if you're not willing to learn, anyone can stop you. But the biggest person that will stop you is yourself, because you're not willing to learn anything. You want to go about it the easy way. I'm guilty of that. Because I always want to go and do things the easy way, but that's not how life works. And no one is here to live your life for you. That's exactly true. If you want to learn a language, do it for yourself. No one's going to learn it for you. No one's going to baby you till you learn it. Unless you pay that person to baby you, or that person's like so like happy that they want someone to learn the language, or you're in a learning group. But majority of the time, no one's going to sit there and help you. They're not going to be like, oh, I'll learn this language for you as well. We'll learn it together, and then blah, blah, blah. No, you got to learn it for yourself, because no one's going to sit there and say, oh, you want to learn Japanese? I want to learn Thai, but I'll help you. I'll baby you. No, that's not how the world works. You do it yourself. Hard work. Learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. So if you have a love for learning, it's going to follow you everywhere. You're going to learn more and more, and you're going to expand your brain, and it's going to be the most beautiful adventure you would ever have. You need to see the world in a different way. Stop being so negative. Stop letting things get to you. If somebody says you can't learn anything, don't believe them. If you believe them, you're giving yourself that opportunity to quit, and you're also telling yourself that you can't do it, and your brain will believe it, and your brain will tell you you are nothing and you will not be able to handle it. It'll say, quit now, and you will, and you won't come back to it. You might, when you get the motivation to do it, and someone says, oh, don't listen to him. He's stupid. He doesn't know what he's saying. He's just trying to break you down. You need to look in the mirror, tell yourself you're smart, you're intelligent, you're beautiful. You say that enough times with enough fervor and belief, your brain will believe it, and you'll see yourself in another way. You'll be able to do things another way. You'll think you're smart. You'll think you're intelligent. You'll think all these things. You'll be able to push yourself past your boundaries. Because if you make boundaries for yourself, you're not going to progress past them. You need to push past those boundaries. And this next quote I have says, I know all those words, but that sentence makes no sense to me. So you know all the words to a sentence, but it makes no sense to you. For me, I'll look at a word and I'll be like, I know this word. I know all these words, but when it's formed in a sentence, I'll get confused. But I know what each word means, but I don't know what the sentence is trying to get across. That's why you have to put a lot of effort into trying to understand something that you don't understand. If you need help, ask. There's also links, there's YouTube. We have the internet nowadays. Learning a language is 10 times easier than it was previously, before the internet was created. When you had to learn a language, you'd get a tutor, or you'd literally go to the library and get books off of it. And most books were never accurate. And that's the sad thing. And people nowadays still use books. I mean, majority of books now have been corrected and updated and better for you to learn. But back then it was very hard. And so I just say, if you want to learn a language, go for it. Don't let anyone hold you back. This is your life, you live it. You only get one shot. And if you mess it up, there's nothing you can do about it. You're going to look back on your life and be like, I'm miserable. I was miserable my whole life. I didn't do the things I wanted to. I didn't do this or that because I let this person hold me back, and I believed what this person said, and it changed my perception of how I felt about myself. People want to bring other people down when they see them going somewhere. And you need to go above and beyond to be the bigger person in that. And to realize that those people are just saying that because someone else put them down and they let someone else ruin their dreams. Don't let them ruin your dreams so they feel better about themselves. Because in the long run, they'll feel good for a few seconds and then they'll realize they crushed someone else's dream. Some people might actually enjoy crushing other people's dreams. Some might feel guilty about it because they're like, I had my dream crushed and then I crushed somebody else's. So I just wanted to say you all are very beautiful, smart, and intelligent people. If you want to go to college, you want to do this or this, and someone's telling you you can't do it, you can't make it, you can't do certain things because of who you are or your disabilities, don't believe them. Find a way around it. Find a way around those obstacles. Push through them. Break your boundaries, go past your limits, and keep going past them. And you can do anything. this has been Jasper, and I will see you guys in the next video. And remember, you guys are really beautiful, and don't let anyone else say otherwise. Bye.